In August and September 2025, international students from all across the world will continue to flock to the United States. Indians by far make the largest chunk of these international students in the United States, and at this point, there are more than 3.5 lakh Indian students studying at American universities. And you might be surprised to know that half of these students, international students, don't even land themselves in the most metropolitan cities in the US. What does that mean? That the commute is difficult, the opportunities are limited, and then they have to make up their own ways to get through life. For international students, driving license is not just a necessity, it's a way of living life in the US and making a bridge between their opportunities and their circumstances. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sheetal and I'm the founder of DueSpaid, where we simplify your study abroad and work abroad journey. In this video, we are going to talk everything about the driver's license in the US that you need to know as an international student. We will also discuss some of the myths that are doing around on the internet and how you can take care of them and not waste your time. So let's get back to today's video. Whether it's traveling for fun, commuting for your internship or your part-time job, buying groceries in suburban America, or getting your airport security check done through your driver's license, you will realize soon enough that your driver's license is the single most important identity document that you will be carrying with yourself in the US. So let's simplify that process. The real and real life in America are two very different things. You might see all the glamour in movies and on Instagram, but the reality is really straightforward. The United States as a country runs on cars. Of course, unless you happen to be in one of the most metropolitan cities in the United States, which are probably New York, Boston, or even Chicago. In these cities, the public transit system thrives. But if you're not in one of these metropolitan cities, the public transit system is either limited, unreliable, or non-existent. The current government data shows that Indian students now account for the largest chunk of international students in the US. That is more than 27%. And majority of these students are placed in states and towns wherein their ability to drive is directly proportional to their ability to socialize, their economic opportunities, and basically study effectively. And there are numbers to support this. A survey conducted by NAFSA reinforces this point. According to the data of that survey, nearly half of international students, that's basically 47% of all international students in the US, reported that transportation related issues either impacted their academics or hampered their job opportunities. So to simply put, driving in the US is not just about moving from one place to the other with convenience, but it is also about your academic growth, your economic opportunities, and your day-to-day independence. When you move to a different country, a foreign land, everything can seem daunting, especially if it involves reaching out or going to any government agency. So here is a step-by-step guide for you to follow so that you can get your driver's license in any US state without any hassles. Step 1. Identify your agency. First thing you need to understand is that there is no central agency that takes care of driver's license in the US. Just like in India, wherein we have the RTO office that deals with all license issuance, United States has a different policy. Every state has a different agency and its rule, and they issue the driver's license as per the state. And that simply means that the agency you will deal with will differ based on what state you are in. For example, for California and New York, it's the Department of Motor Vehicle. In Texas, it's the Department of Public Safety. And in Illinois, the authority is the Secretary of State's office. Each of these agencies have very different rules, and you need to take care of all the things that are mentioned only and only on the official websites. Some states would allow you to just simply upload all your documents online and take the initial test online, But in other states, you might not be able to do that, and you might have to physically go to the agency and appear for all the tests and submit your documentation. My advice to you would be follow everything that the official website states and do not follow any other advice that you receive over the internet or from anybody else who might sound like an agent. Do not ever use third-party websites while making any transactions or uploading your documents, because in some cases it might just be misleading, but in others it might be outright fraudulent. Step 2 is figure out the documents. I understand that figuring out documents is not a big deal for international students, but when every state has a different agency and every agency has a different requirement, it might just get very tough for you to figure out what exactly do you need. But here are 4 categories of evidence that every state would require you to produce. The first one is identity. Basically, they want to know who you are and where you came from. It would include your passport and your unexpired visa. Second is immigration status. So basically, they would want to identify and check whether you are a legal non-resident person in the United States and you're not here illegally. So for that, if you are an F1 student, you will have to provide your I-20 form issued by your university, followed by your I-94 record that you will get once you have entered the US through any airport or ship port. If you're a J1 student or an exchange visitor, you will have to provide DS 2019 form along with the I-94 form and your unexpired visa. Third is your proof of residence. So basically, if you are not residing in any US state, you cannot apply for that state's driver's license. You will have to have a local address to be able to apply for a driver's license in any state of the US. And these documents would be essentially anything official that tie you to a local address. For example, your apartment lease, your utility bill, your credit card bill, your bank statement, anything and everything that has your name and a local address in that city will be a proof of your local residence. And finally is the social security status. This one is something that a lot of international students get confused about. They feel that if they don't have a social security number, they won't be able to apply for a driver's license. Well, let me break it to you. You can definitely apply for a driver's license even if you don't have a SSN. In case of New York, there is actually a separate form called NSS1A that allows temporary residents to apply for a driver's license without a social security number. And starting from 2024, Illinois has started issuing 4-year temporary driver's license to temporary residents with federal limits apply mentioned on the driver's license itself. This is the step where most delays occur because every state has a different checklist that you need to follow. I would suggest that you go to the official agency's website and figure out what documents you need based on the state you are in. Step 3. Figure out the tests. You will hear a lot of information and chatter online that only 61% people were able to clear written tests in the US, or 68% of the people have been able to clear the road skills test. But do not believe any statistics when it comes to passing rate, because there is no national level database when it comes to passing rates of driver's licensing tests. However, what remains consistent is that students who read and learn through the state's driver's manual and appear for online tests religiously have more chances of getting through the driver's test in person as compared to those who are just trying to dodge the system. And if you're wondering how will I appear for a road skills test if I don't own a car, my tip would be that figure out local driving schools in your state, your town, or your city, and they will be able to rent you a car that you can use for your driver's test. That is basically the road skills test. So in this, basically preparation is the deciding factor and not just luck. Step 4 is Real ID in 2025. So starting from May 7th, 2025, anybody who doesn't have a Real ID will not be able to do air travel in the US with just a simple driver's license as their identity document. So, what exactly is a real ID? Basically, if your driver's license doesn't have this star at the corner, it's not a real ID, and you will not be allowed to board a flight within the US if your driver's license doesn't have this star, and you will have to carry any other identity document like your passport. So to qualify for real ID, it really is not much. The process largely remains the same as a normal driver's license, but in addition to one proof of local residency, you will have to provide two. So if you are an international student, your lease agreement included with your home utility bill, your credit card statement, or your bank statement would be enough for you to get qualified for a real ID. And to all the students who are arriving in the US in 2025, I would suggest that you go for a real ID up front, because if you get this one ID, which is a basic driver's license now, you will eventually have to get a real ID driver's license. It would just save you so many steps and you can avoid the hassle. Step 5 is expiry rules. A lot of students, international students, are surprised when they get to know this one detail, that their driver's license is only valid until their student visa is valid. So, for instance, in Virginia, the expiry date of your driver's license, which is the limited term driver's license, is exactly the same as your program end date mentioned in your I-20 form. In the state of Georgia, the temporary licenses which are issued to non-citizens clearly have marked on themselves that it's only valid for a limited term. So it means that if your program ends in 2 years, 4 years, or if you're pursuing a PhD that might need you at least 5 years to complete, then your driver license will be valid as long as you have a valid student visa. It's important to know the rules. It saves you from all the surprise later on. There are several persistent myths when it comes to international students getting a driver's license in the US, and let's just break some of them. Myth number 1 is Florida requires proof of car insurance before issuing a driver's license. The fact is that insurance is not required if you're just applying for a driver's license. However, insurance is mandatory if you own a vehicle. Myth number 2 is an Indian license paired with an international driving permit is valid for 1 year everywhere in the US. The fact is that while the US recognizes an Indian license with international driving permit, it might not be valid in some states and even might not be valid after 6 months or so. So instead of waiting for that last date when you can't just legally operate a vehicle, why not start the process early? Myth number 3 is exactly 13 states allow licenses without a social security number. The fact is, the rules change constantly. What you need to do is check the latest information mentioned on the website of the official agency, and then you will be able to figure out whether you can apply without a social security number, and if yes, what exactly is the process and what is the documentation that they need. For international students coming to the US in 2025, getting updated with all the new information, preparing the right documents, and choosing all the right ways to apply for a driver's license is the go-to process. And mind you, in 2025, you might want to just apply for a real ID instead of a normal driver's license. That would save you unnecessary trips to the agencies, a lot of money, and would definitely save you a lot of peace of mind. So if you found this breakdown of the entire driver's license system in the US useful, do like the video and share it with somebody that might also benefit from it. Subscribe the channel and we'll meet you in another video where we will simplify the study and work abroad journey for you. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep paying your dues for a better tomorrow.